have to say we go to different types of schools for like elementary schools to teach people second graders, first graders, kindergarteners. We even teach people in middle school, even people that are like older instead of younger, so it's easier for them to grasp things because their mind has been educated on some of these things. I remember my first time going to a grade in middle school on the STEAM Dream Team, and I felt so like I just felt out of place because it was like these kids I was teaching already knew about what I was teaching them. I thought to myself, I was like, oh, these kids are very smart. I shouldn't treat them like the younger ones. And Miss Shillingford, she already told me that when we got in the bus, and I'm sitting there looking a little bit shook because I didn't expect fifth graders to be so educated off the rip. It was like those kindergarteners that we taught just evolved into some new metamorphosis of a kid.
Okay, it is Friday. You guys, you are getting through this virtual learning. You are getting through this pandemic period of your lives. We're going to just enjoy the beginning of this weekend. Started off with an awesome interview podcast with some amazing students. We are here with the STEAM Dream Team. Try to say that 3 times fast. Everybody try to do it together. STEAM Dream Team, STEAM Dream Team, STEAM Dream Team. Ooh, I'm good. So I just want to start off with us introducing ourselves. You guys tell me a little bit about where you are, what your involvement was with the STEAM Dream Team, because we're here with the alumni of the STEAM Dream Team, as well as Miss Nannette Shillingford. So the way we're going to do this is Miss Nannette is going to start off, and then she's going to actually call you all one by one in order to introduce you guys. Okay, so Miss Nannette, welcome back.
Thank you so much, Candace. It's good to be here.
So, Miss Nannette, just for those who may not have had the opportunity to view the first interview with you, we had the pleasure of talking about Date Academy, but now we're getting into the roots of STEAM Dream Team. Can you give us a little bit about your involvement with STEAM Dream Team, and then also your position with the STEAM Dream Team? So what we want to start off by doing is start with Miss Nannette Shillingford. We had the pleasure of speaking with her about Date Academy, and now we're here to get into the specifics of the STEAM Dream Team. Miss Nannette, if you can introduce yourselves, and then just call on your students and they can introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about what they have going on now.
Awesome. Yes, my name is Mrs. Shillingford, and I am the environmental specialist and STEM coordinator for DeKalb Agriculture, Technology, and Environment School. First, we have Mr. Candice Fisher.
Hey everybody, my name's Candice Fisher. I currently go to Arabia Mountain High School. I'm in the 10th grade, and I love STEAM. I love everything about it. I've been doing STEAM since I got to Date, and I started Date during kindergarten. So all the way now, it's led to an interest, and currently I'm still interested in STEAM at this moment as well.
Awesome. So tell me, what are you wanting to do? What are your focus? What are you studying in high school? And then what do you want to do with your future career?
Well, right now I'm interested in electrical engineering. So that goes with, you could work electrical engineering with construction, heating, transport networks. There's so many different outlets that come with electrical engineering. And that's the part that I mainly focus in right now.
That's awesome. Well, nice to meet you. Back to you, Miss Nannette.
Yes, and next we'll have Nicholas Lundy.
Hey everybody, I'm Nicholas Lundy. I am going to Decatur High School now. I'm a 9th grader. I went to Date at around first or second grade, and I started being in the STEAM Dream Team in 8th grade. And after that, I found like a major interest in STEAM. I'm still interested, and I'm mainly interested in art. So right now at Decatur High School, I'm focusing on the culinary arts currently. And I say currently because I'm starting to lean towards engineering or technology. So I just really want to know what I can get done right now.
That's awesome. Nice to meet you.
Okay, and next we'll have Evan Gilford.
Hello, my name is Evan Gilford. I'm now in the ninth grade at Tucker High School. Yes, I am alumni of the STEAM team and DATE, and I got into STEAM just because the math and the science aspect of it. It really gave me an entrance into it. It made me look into it and see what with other things it could benefit from. So now I'm moving on to business, and it led me to business and how interesting that is. And business, of course, correlates with math. So
That's awesome. Look, you're going to be a really important businessman, making some powerful moves once you get deeper and deeper into accounting and math and all of those systems and numbers. So nice to meet you.
Yes, and while I love my guys, I had to save the best for last for the ladies. Very strong young woman, Miss Jada Nyblack.
Hi, my name is Jada Nyblack. I'm currently a freshman at Arabia Mountain High School. I went to DATE from kindergarten to 8th grade, and I was on the STEAM team from 6th grade to 8th grade. And STEAM has helped me figure out that I may want to be a math teacher or work in some kind of engineering.
That is awesome. Look, you could do both of them. The sky is the limit. And as Miss Nannette just said, you are strong, and I'm sure you'll be able to work it all out and more. So nice to meet you, Miss Jada. All right, y'all. Well, okay, let's get this thing started. I'm going to really be addressing this first part to you, Miss Nannette, and then I want to hear from everyone else a little later. But let's get into it. Can you tell us the mission and the goals of the STEAM Dream Team?
Yes, the mission and the goal of the STEAM Dream Team is to plant seeds in the community with the hopes that there will be a harvest from the knowledge that we share with them. And those seeds are seeds of science, technology, engineering, art, and math.
Awesome. That's wonderful. And, how did this team come about? Because you are the founder, correct?
Yes, I am the
Yeah,
founder.
tell us what was the inspiration?
The inspiration came from me because I seriously have a passion for gifted and accelerating students. Oftentimes, I felt like those students, they generally sometimes get bypassed because people always assume that they know everything because they're doing well. But those are the students I felt like we need to lift even further, those that can take us to the moon, build a rocket, find the cure for cancer, and all those type of things. So I wanted a group of students who were responsible, who earned their spot on the actual STEAM team, who were academic excellers, who were reliable, who had little to no behavior problems, and people and students that I felt would represent DeKalb Academy of Technology very well. So I had a desire for that because I wanted to take some middle school children, and I figured if we could have them to be the ones to go out and teach the younger children, that they would be able to relate to those kids more, and the smaller ones would receive it. But on the other side, I also wanted to have a group of children that I could build into leaders.
Absolutely.
They too are learning on the other end. So I'll kind of stop there because, I can sometimes go on and on when I start talking about them, but that is where the inception came from and the idea of putting this STEAM Dream Team together.
That's such an interesting perspective. Wanting to give some more special attention to the gifted students. I've never really thought of it that way, but in some ways, you're absolutely right. We look at these students and we're like, well, they're fine. Let's focus on those students who may need some additional understanding of the studies of the fields that they're wanting to go in. But, it's not, we can't stop there. We have to really also help every student within the classroom, within that space.
Absolutely.
Now tell us, what are the benefits of being a member of this program?
There are several benefits. One of the largest benefits that I feel I'm really proud of, we established an internship for these students. We went with the DeKalb Watershed Management Company. Thank you to Dominique Carricker, one of our board members, a wonderful lady who she set it up and worked it out for us so that we were able to establish it. And these students went out into the field. They actually walked side by side with engineers. They had a chance to touch and feel in the real world. So that's one of the biggest benefits. The other benefits are, I think that they get an opportunity to grow and become more cultural. They see different types of children. They learn to articulate themselves. I learned to speak well in front of other people. Yes, and another opportunity is for them to grow so that they can immerse themselves in the community and the culture around them. So I really like that part. That's a big benefit. They have almost every other Friday off from school, and that's a plus. And it's not that it's off. They're doing personal learning. They're in the field learning, and that makes them more responsible. They know that they need to have time management. They grow, they develop. And I mean, these students really learn a lot, and they actually are accumulating skills and knowledge that they would be able to put on a resume when they're in high school for jobs.
Absolutely. And so we're talking about what you guys, what the alumni, what you all have now, what you received from being a member of this STEAM Dream Team. I should say being a leader of this STEAM Dream Team. Now, tell me a little bit about what impact, Ms. Shillingford, does the STEAM Dream Team have on the younger audiences that they go out and impact and they teach these lessons to? What is that impact? What do you see that these younger audiences receive from your STEAM Dream Team?
I mean, it's really awesome because, again, I think when they see them, they see that they're like taller little kids. It's not like an adult standing over them. It doesn't feel like a classroom. The impact is that they're having fun, learning, and that the STEAM Dream Team members, they're very creative. And when they're planning their lessons, and they're planning lessons that will engage smaller children, so they have a huge impact. And what I like about it so much is because they see someone closer to their age, and they're thinking, wow, if this kid can do this, then maybe one day I can. And when I watch the kids, some kids who've never seen a drone or never played with circuits before, or never saw sand burning and the things that we do in aquaponics, those kids literally leave there saying those words when we're saying goodbye. So to me, that's a huge impact, I believe. Yes, planning.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, guys, I'm excited. Look, this is just our first portion of this interview. Miss Nannette, thank you for giving us this background of the STEAM Dream Team. We got to meet Camden, who's interested in electrical engineering. We met Nicholas, who's this awesome artist. He's interested in art. And Evan, that's our businessman. You guys need some business propositions drafted. We're going to go to you, Evan. And Miss Jada, who wants to be a math teacher. And she's going to rule the world. She's going to do whatever it is that she wants to do, okay? And then we talked about the mission, which is to plant seeds in the community. And these seeds are seeds of STEM and STEAM. And then why was this founded? Miss Nannette, I think that your heart for these gifted students in order to assist them even further in their passions, in their career pathways, and having that passion to really give them what they need so that they can go out in the world and just change the world, continue to change the world. That is awesome. That's what you guys are doing. And I'm so excited about that. And then the benefits that you all as alumni received, some of those are, you all have had opportunities of internships, opportunities to grow and immerse yourselves in various cultures in your community. And then also just adulting, right? We learn time management skills when we're not physically in the classroom. Oh yeah, you learn time management skills. And then last but not least, the gifts that you guys give to the younger students that you all teach, which I think is the coolest part about what you all do. And just some of those things is that you all create these fun and learn, you create and teach these fun and learning experiences and lesson plans. And it's important for those students to see it and hear it come from you all, who you're not that far away from their age, and also introducing them to new experiences involving STEM and STEAM. That is awesome. Y'all, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back to hear from you guys in just a moment. Okay, so we are back from our little break. We just went into the mission and the goals of the STEAM Dream Team. We got a nice understanding of who these awesome alumni are and what they were involved in while they were part of the STEAM Dream Team. Now let's get into the roles and responsibilities. Miss Nannette, can you tell us, what's the STEAM Dream Team up to now? What's the status of the team? How many members are there?
Currently, of course, because of Corona, COVID-19, and social distancing, I'm having to really go back to the drawing board and kind of restructure how the STEAM Dream Team will be handled for this particular year. It probably will be something much more viral. But what's going to be really exciting about it is generally what we do is that we reach out into the community to other children. This year, we're going to do virtual activities that we share with our own elementary students at our own school, in addition to offering some of those virtual lessons to outside places. And again, that's all due to social distancing. And with everything getting together, when you ask me about the STEAM team, the STEAM team and where they are right now, I'm in the process of looking, evaluating, and selecting those students for this year.
That's exciting. I can't wait to see, who is it? I know you guys are like every year, the whole school is like, who's on the team? You guys are like mini celebrities. So this question, I'm going to talk to my main man, Camden. Camden, how's it going?
Going good, going good.
Awesome. Camden, can you tell us a little bit about the structure of the STEAM Dream Team?
So I'll start off with our responsibilities that we had at the school. So normally a normal day in a STEAM team would be after school, we'd have our meeting, and Miss Shillingford would tell us, she orchestrated it. Everybody got their part together. But so normally after that, most of the meeting would be spent taking care of the responsibilities around the school. So one of the responsibilities would be like the chicken coop, feeding the chickens, make sure that they're well fed, that they're okay, that everything's going well. Another one of my favorite ones, the greenhouse. Everybody loved the greenhouse. We went to the greenhouse, cleaned up. If there was extra algae or something in the tanks, we'd make sure we clean that, figure out a way to get it out, make sure it wouldn't be too much. All the levels were good, the plants were growing, everything was going smoothly. And then we have our responsibilities, such as like the tasks we take on the bus. I know we'll get in more into that later with the lesson plan and all, but main part of our responsibility, Ms. Shillingford pushed this a lot. We go home and we think of a new plan every week to introduce something new to the students or the children that we're teaching. It's a strenuous task. Honestly, how it sounds, if you do a new task weekly, it sounds like, okay, I have a week to think of this or that. But honestly, it was hard. It's harder than it sounds because Miss Shillingford, she's an excellent educator. So she doesn't want anything recycled at all. She wants it new. She wants to make sure it's done to a T as well. And you have to also be able to know everything that goes along with it. So if there's a question asked, you could answer it just like that in a quick, in a hurry. I remember just an example. I remember I did I made a catapult thing that involved answering a question and getting it right. I worked on it. I brought it to the school, and then Miss Shillingford, she loved the idea, and she told me after, Cam, that's a great idea, but think of a way that you can better it and make it more, because the questions were a little hard, I will say. So she said, think of a way you could better it, make sure that they get something from it, but also make sure that they can be able to understand the terms and the terminology and definitions that's being used as well. That's just one of the many experiences. And
That's awesome.
also another main experience involving involving our responsibilities is our schoolwork. um Many people who thought, you know, the steam, like at the school, I say the students, they thought, okay, well, we leave Friday and we just wouldn't have to do work. Well, that wasn't true. We still have to do all the work that was required for us. And that's one of the main reasons Miss Shillingford is always pushing that, how we're leaders, because we do the stuff, I mean, so along with every other student, but we also do the stuff that's not seen. So okay, you see us on the news doing this and that, but then we come to school, do every assignment the teachers give it, make sure we get a good grade too. We don't half do anything. So we're making sure we're getting 90s and above. That was stress. We had to be able to get good grades, because to be able to continue to go out on Friday and teach other people, you still have to be able to be on top of your game so you could do that.
Absolutely. Wow. Camden, that was a great overview of you all's responsibilities. I'm glad that you took it outside of the STEAM Dream Team, because what you do in the classroom at date still overlap with what you all were trying to maintain, or what you did maintain with the STEAM Dream Team. Like you said, your coursework. You all had lots of responsibilities in both of those areas. Tell me a little bit about the structure. Do you all have some sort of executive board that was like the leaders within the leaders? Because all y'all are leaders. But did you have like some an e-board?
Yes, and we have two of those folks on here. Jada, Jada was a treasurer, and Evan was one of the presidents. So we had treasurers, presidents, we had a historian, a photographer. Some of those folks aren't on here, but yes, they were two of the leaders that we had on the stage.
Awesome. You said Evan. Evan, tell me what you did.
As the leader, or as being the president of the two, I had to make sure everybody had their tasks ready for Friday. So on Wednesdays, we would get together, see what we needed, what we were going to focus on, and what we were going to push if we didn't push it the last week, what we were really going to focus on out of STEM. And when we'll get all our materials, make sure on Wednesday we'll have all our materials for Friday. And when we got there, we would set up everything, make sure everybody has their tents ready, their tables ready, have everything laid out to start. And then we would get the kids and we would bring them in, and I'll make sure everybody's doing their thing. So no slacking off, no trying to go talk to him or her, none of that. So I would try to keep them in line and check. If we had something missing, I would try to go find it and make sure we were on schedule, on time. So yeah.
That's awesome. Lots of responsibilities. And you said Jada.
Yes.
Miss Jada, what was your position and what were you responsible for?
I was treasurer, which means anytime we needed funds or funds calculated, I would be the one to do that. So say like these shirts, for instance, I would collect the money from all the members and calculate and make sure everybody did their part. And that taught me a lot about responsibility.
That's so wonderful. And that goes along with your passions in math. So I love that you were the treasurer and you were exercising that passion. So that's so cool. Well, I'm going to move on to the coolest part, I think, about this team is the lesson plans. I was excited to get to this part. Evan, Mr. Evan, if you could tell us the process that you all take in creating these lesson plans, that'd be awesome.
We would first look at this whole STEM aspect. We would look through what we needed in STEM. So if we were missing some kind of math experiment or something math related, we would make sure somebody could bring something that Wednesday to focus on that. So throughout the week, we would gather up in the classroom and we would talk about, oh, did we get to do this science experiment, or did we focus on technology and if we weren't to do that, we were to make sure that that whole STEM was rounded and we could focus all the way through that. So on a Friday when we were actually get there, we weren't lacking or we weren't, oh, we don't have any technology. We can't show them any technology. So we would, yeah. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So basically making sure, that was awesome, Evan, making sure that science, technology, engineering, and math, and arts, where all of those were covered. So Friday, basically, it would be a lesson plan every Friday, every time you all go out into the community and teach these younger audiences. Evan, are you saying you all make sure you have a lesson plan for each of those subject matters?
More so, yes. Yeah.
Like that was the goal. Look, we know that there are some factors sometimes that don't allow those things to, even time. Sometimes some experiments may take longer. I can only imagine when you get there. And then some kids get more excited about certain things. There's so many hidden factors, but ultimately you all try to make sure that you have lesson plans for each of those subject matters, which is so great. And then once those are created, you all would you separate them per member to create? How would that work?
Once we would all get our experiments, yes, we would like give them every member. Sometimes we would group up, 2 people get one experiment because there was a lot of us. And sometimes some people wouldn't be able to go because we had no space on the bus. It's, yeah. We group up 2 by 2. Some people get their own. And if you really have something interesting, you might get it to yourself. And if you have something that requires 2 people, you get 2 people. But there's no like 3 people per table or something like that. So
that's
it's well
awesome.
balanced.
So then y'all come back, you have the lesson plans complete. And then now it's time to, do you guys like present it in front of each other, like test it out in front of each other, or does Miss Nannette review it?
Yes, we all circle up and you show your experiment to everybody. And if you get the thumbs up, you can bring it on Friday. If you don't, gotta go do something else, find something new. But yeah.
I love that. Oh, well, that's a cool process. And that's a very interactive and engaging moment for you all as well, just as the STEAM Dream Team, as your club, to bond and work together, utilize each other's strengths in order to accomplish that. That's awesome. Thanks, Evan. And last but not least, for in this section, I want us to walk in you all's shoes. Let's go to a Friday where you all go into the community and you speak to, you engage and interact and educate the youth, these younger audiences, with these experiments and lesson plans. Nicholas, can you walk us through that?
To walk us through what happens on all of our Fridays, like Camden and Evan were talking about how we have our lesson plans and responsibilities. Those are like the things that we will take with us to go educate the younger people on about. So our lesson plan. It was one of our responsibilities to make sure we always had our things. So whenever it was a Friday, that's when we go out. The main question you want to ask yourself is, are you ready to do this? So as one of our responsibilities, we always had to make sure we had the equipment for our lesson plan to make sure we can do it correctly. And say you had slime, for example, you have to make sure you had all those different ingredients like borax and stuff like that. And on top of that, you have to worry on if you can even make it. So what would be the point of doing that? But to like elaborate more on it, another one of our responsibilities would be to bring the actual equipment onto the bus with us. So we had to make sure we got up early, prepared the bus, and then we would all be done and settled, so that we'd be able to go on our journey to teach younger people about the knowledge that we've learned ourselves.
That's awesome. So y'all are on this bus, you got all your equipment, you're good to go. When you get there, let's actually start there. Where are some of these specific places you guys go to?
To say there, I'm not really good with directions, so I can't actually name a place, but to be more general, I'd have to say we go to different types of schools, for like elementary schools to teach people, second graders, first graders, kindergarteners. We even teach people in middle school, even people that are like older instead of younger, so it's easier for them to grasp things because their mind has been educated on some of these things. I remember my first time going to a grade in middle school on the STEAM Dream Team, and I felt so like I just felt out of place because it was like these kids I was teaching already knew about what I was teaching them. I thought to myself, I was like, oh, these kids are very smart. I shouldn't treat them like the younger ones. And Miss Shillingford, she already told me that when we got in the bus, and I'm sitting there looking a little bit shook because I didn't expect fifth graders to be so educated off the rip. It was like those kindergartners that we taught just evolved into some new metamorphosis of a kid.
That's good. Yeah, you know, and it was all, it sounds like it's thanks to the STEAM Dream Team for working with them when they were younger. And now you go back in there in fifth grade, you're like, wait a minute, I remember you back in the day. What happened? And then you say, I remember specifically you had all the questions and now you're teaching me. But that's such a testament to what you all are doing. That I know it was probably, like you said, you were probably a little shook, but I'm sure it was rewarding in the same breath because you all know y'all are doing some amazing work within the community. I love that. And then it also shows a part of the way that you had to adapt your lesson plan. That takes skills. Do you know that adults, that's hard for adults to do, to in the moment adapt and say, okay, this is the environment. We're with some really smart kids. Let me switch it up a little bit so that, you know, they also feel like they can engage at a level where they also will take something away from your plan. That's really, really cool. So then when you all are, my last little question in this space, when you're engaging with these audiences, with these younger audiences, or with your peers, as you just mentioned, tell me about, like, what does that room feel like? What does that space feel like? What's the emotion that's happening in the room? And physically talk to us about how you interact with these students in order for them to really grasp the concepts you want them to understand.
So to be very specific, when I'm talking to like peers, like actual people who are on the STEAM team, instead of me being as serious as I am trying to make sure I get my point through, my peers are eighth grade as well with me. So sometimes I'll be talking to them as if they're actually me. So I'll say things very simply because I already feel as if they know it. But that's not what Miss Shillingford wants. She wants us to be able to like push over our limit of our knowledge and make our brain grow more into the tree that she wants us to have. So whenever I'm talking to peers, like take Evan, for example, I remember one time we had a conversation about aquaponics and I was talking. He was like, Nicholas, you already know I know most of this stuff. And then I thought to myself, I was like, oh no, I need to go back and look up more things so I can make what I do to the best limit I can make it. But then when we have younger kids, instead of me starting off as simple as I do, I start off complex so then they can actually grasp onto something completely new. Like with the fifth graders I was just talking about, if I were to simplify it, they'd already know what I was talking about, and they start talking as if they were teaching me, and that's not what we needed. So I switched it up, like you said. I made it a lot more complex for them. So like the environment between my peers on the STEAM Dream Team and the actual kids that we go out to, they're one and the same, but they're different at the same time. One, I'm talking to people my level, which means I have to be over eccentrically smart. Like I have to be super smart. But then when we talk to kids, I still have to be smart so they can grab onto something that I'm teaching them. But I don't want to make it to the point where they have no clue what's happening at all. I still want them to be able to grasp onto it and explain it to their parents when they get home.
That's wonderful. That what we say in ACP and the Stepping STEM program, we say we like to bring the message to the students. So imagine if we're trying to drag you guys to this complicated, complex messaging or lesson plan. I mean, you'll get dead face, you'll get blank face. People will say, you know, people will shut down. You want to make sure that your lesson plan, messaging, the way that you're communicating your information and what you want your audiences to grasp, it's targeted towards these specific audiences. You already know all this, and that is awesome. The fact that you were able to break that down, sir, I think you need to also just continue being an educator. I'm a student for life, so I believe that you have a bright future in continuing to educate. Shoot, even adults, anyone. Honestly, the fact that you know how to cater your messaging, that is so important. And I think that's awesome. Well, guys, I'm going to take a quick break just to summarize some things we discussed in this portion. We talked about the current status. Due to the pandemic right now, Ms. Shillingford is in the selection process of finding new students that'll be a part of the new STEAM Dream Team, and also incorporating more virtual learning. That's going to be exciting. And then roles and responsibilities. I mean, my goodness, Miss Shillingford is not playing with these kids, okay? They have responsibilities just with Date Academy, with their other instructors, but also with the STEAM Dream Team. They are on top of it. We discussed what those are. And then the lesson plans, them being able to come together as a group, have a group think tank, discuss what it is that they need to cover in the sense of covering all of the STEAM and STEM fields, and then selecting which one of these lesson plans to actually present on Fridays. Then we talked about a day in the life of these awesome leaders when they go out into the community, and how they have to make sure that they focus their messaging to their specific targeted audiences in order for the message to be effectively communicated. That is awesome, y'all. We're going to come right back for our final segment. You guys, y'all are awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Just give us 1 second. We'll be right back. I'm a little sad because we are wrapping up this final segment of this episode with these awesome students. We have, again, Nannette Shillingford, who's the environmental specialist, as well as the STEAM and STEM coordinator for Date Academy. We have the guys on the phone. We have Nicholas and Camden and Evan. And then we have Miss Jada representing for all of us girls out there interested in STEM and STEAM. Now we're wrapping up, as I mentioned. So I think my final question to you all is, how, out of all the things we've been discussing, all of the roles, responsibilities you all had in and outside of the classrooms, how, Miss Nannette, how do they keep their grades up? And I also want to hear from the students as well.
Yes. Well, again, as mentioned earlier, when I first had the vision for this group of kids, it was 4 accelerators. So they had to be a self-starter to do this, and it just was not an option. And one of the larger reasons for it not being an option was because I can't explain having students out every Friday in the community that are not on a level where they can actually keep up with their academics first, because that is first and foremost. So for me, it just was not an option.
Absolutely.
So one of you guys, Jada, what did you do, Jada?
So to keep my grades up, it could be hard at times, but for the most part, it was pretty simple because Ms. Shillingford really pushed us. If I could choose one person throughout my date experience that pushed me the most through middle school, was Ms. Shillingford. And even when we had meetings on every Wednesday, if we needed tutoring, that came before STEM did, because we needed to have our grades to go to teach other people on Fridays.
Wow, that's great. Tutoring before STEM day. Yeah, that's good.
What about Evan?
For me, in my household, you had to have your grades up to do anything outside of school. So, I mean, I just kept my grades up because I had to. If I wanted to do something outside of school, my grades needed to be up. So.
What kind of things would you do at home to try to stay focused and make sure that they stay up?
To not venture off, sometimes I listen to music and do work. That helps me go faster. And if you really want to just not procrastinate, you look at the time of it and you just do it. I know it seems hard, but you just do it. Like, I don't know how to really explain what I do. I just do the work and you'll be fine. It's not like, I mean, you just can't be lazy, in my opinion. Yeah.
Just do it. Just do it. I love it.
Nicholas?
To put it simply, I was almost forced against my will. I'm not gonna cap. I had no choice at all. If my grades dropped below a C, everything's out my room, even my bed. My mom, I had so many people on my back. My mom worked at the school, my auntie, and then I had a good relationship with all my teachers, and they had a good relationship with my mom, which means they had connections. They would tell if they had the simplest instinct. So I just couldn't do anything against it. It was like odds were against me. If I worked lazy, I got nothing. I didn't get sleep, none of that. I stayed up past 12 doing work because I used to be procrastinating. Then I joined the STEAM Dream Team. Next thing you know, I got Miss Shillingford on my back. She pushing me even more than my mama. I I just didn't have a choice at all. If I wanted to do something, I needed a grade. I needed to have at least an A. No
Nicholas,
exception.
tell us, did you at least enjoy the process?
I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was just scary sometimes. I'd be in the hallway walking past Miss Shillingford. She look at me. I jump sometimes, thinking she gonna get mad. But it was fun. It was fun while it lasted.
That's awesome. And I mean, look, now you have all these skills that you're able to use for the rest of your life. You know, as Evan said, just do it. Don't procrastinate.
Absolutely. Might as well hear from Cam. He's the sophomore on the line.
Okay, so I will say this. They prepared me very well, as much as they could, for high school in their workload that they gave us. Um my work ethic is more along the line of, like, I guess, all right, I compare it to this. So everybody knows Kobe Bryant, RIP. He has what they call Mamba mentality. When it comes to work, I say I have Mamba mentality because anything, everything that was supposed to be done, if I get 5 assignments, I make sure those 5 assignments are the first thing I do when I get home. I don't get on the game, watch TV, get a snack even. I don't even do that. I make sure that work is done before anything and everything I do. So, and that prepares me for when I get to Wednesday and we had the meetings, I have my mind clear so I could go into it as fully as I can. All the knowledge and, everything that I could bring to the team in itself. So even now, I use that same so-called Mamba mentality. I Teachers they give us work, and since it's the pandemic, they give us work weekly now. So it's like they'll give you these many assignments. Okay, so I see I got these assignments. Soon as I get off the Zoom call, make sure I get it done. If I have any problems with it, I'll ask for help. But other than that, it's as soon as possible as I could get it done. I get it done to the best of my ability. So I mean, that's a tip, honestly, everybody should really take from, because work isn't something that you should take for granted. Everything has a purpose. You might say, okay, so when am I going to use this in the future? Like, I'm not going to be able to, I'm not going to say, okay, I'll walk down the street. Okay. That's this, that's that, that equals this, that equals that. But everything that's put in front of you is done with the purpose. So you can be prepared for you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So anything that's given to you, make sure you do it to the best of your ability and as efficiently as you can.
Wow. Mamba mentality. I'm going to say Camden mentality when I do my work. That's
Right.
it.
That was nice. Very proud.
I think that was everyone, wasn't it? Look, I'm waiting for something. That was shut it down, Camden. Shut it down. That was great. Well, let's wrap this up. Y'all been holding. Look, I appreciate y'all. It's Friday. I know, like Camden said, he's got to get off and do some more work. Miss Nannette, tell us a little bit about how our listeners can find more information about STEAM Dream Team, the STEAM Dream Team, as well as get involved.
The best place to get information is to email me. You can email me directly at NShillingford@date dateacademy.org.
dateacademy.org. Awesome. And is this also the academy? That's number one. That's the number one way to communicate with you and to get involved. Would they be able to also see the STEAM Dream Team on the Date Academy website?
Absolutely, yes. Okay. The STEAM Dream Team is always featured. And there's actually, if you go to dateacademy.org, to our website, and you look, there is a STEM section that you can click on. And yes, you will find the STEAM Dream Team in there as well.
That's awesome. You guys, we talked about probably the most important thing, which is your grades, how you kept them up. You all, you had to be self-starters. It was not an option. We heard about the struggles that you all went through. There were some highs and there were some lows, but you all got through it and you enjoyed the process, Mr. Evan. And then also, we discussed if you all didn't have your grades up, you wouldn't have had the opportunity to go to the field trips on Friday and have these awesome experiences in presenting your experiments. And then Ms. Jada talked about how tutoring came first. Tutoring came before any of this. If you all needed to upskill yourselves and learn deeper in the fields that you were in to become masters of it, you need to go to tutoring. And just do it. That's what you said, Evan. You said we need to just do it. Forget procrastinating. We need to just do it. And like Mr. Camden said, he does not get a snack, drink water, blink an eyelid. He doesn't, nothing, okay? The first thing he does is gets his work done. And then thank you so much, Miss Nannette. You all email Miss Nannette at nshillingford@dateacademy.org. Also find more information about the STEM and STEAM Dream Team at dateacademy.org. And Miss Nannette, any last words before we leave, before we end this episode?
No, I'm just excited. I can't wait to come back again to talk to you some more. This has been a wonderful experience. I want to tell my STEAM alumni that I am so very proud of you guys. You did a wonderful job, and thank you for your time as well.
Thank you guys so much. Y'all enjoy your weekend. I'm looking forward to keeping up with you guys and hearing about what you guys are doing in your futures.
All right. Thank you, Candace.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it.
That's so great. Thank you, Camden. Bye, you guys.